Welcome back to the Sports Center. The Kentucky Stars are being introduced. It's Indiana and Kentucky, the first of two games. This series has been dominated over the years by Indiana. But as of late, this thing has really evened up. And in fact, over the last several years, it's been a pretty even matchup. One team capable of getting one win out of it, but not a sweep. Last year, Kentucky won in Owensboro. Indiana returned the favor at Conseco Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. So things kind of point to a pretty even matchup again this year, I think, Dave.
You're right, Jim. Anytime it's an all-star game, you can't really look at history very much because every one of these kids on the floor can really play the game. So even though it's 100, 67-40, Indiana's favor, that means nothing tonight. This is 108th game, and the only thing that matters right now is the next 20 minutes of the first half. Then they look where we are in the next 20. You saw that in the first game tonight with the girls, really. I thought Indiana would probably win that ball game. They had a nice 17-point lead, I believe, at one time, and it got away from them. So in an all-star game, you can't worry about that too much.
Kentucky girls won the opening act of tonight's play by 279-77, despite missing 22 of 45 free throws. Don't expect to see as many free throws tonight as the two teams greet each other at center court, but we do expect this atmosphere to be loud and to be festive. The West Side three that we talked about are Christmas, Hunter, and Cameron. Hunter, the big guy in the middle at 6'11", all three of these guys part of the state championship at West Side. And the way things are shaping up, none of these guys will start, Dave. So Steve has decided, I think, to play them all together, which is wise.
I think Coach Bruns is very wise in doing that. Obviously, they're used to each other. You put them on a five together and utilize that advantage.
Our officials are Brett Miles, Stephen Devine, and Victor Montgomery.
Two of those guys worked this game last year, and I warned them before the game that we'd talk bad about them if they didn't do a good job. So they said you did one of the best jobs last year we ever heard.
Oh, you must have been talking with Jan Cotter, huh? Jan's fun to work with and quite opinionated. And for some of the stations that carry the opening game tonight between Indiana and Kentucky, certainly had a chance to hear her commentary on the game. It really got away from the Indiana Stars. 33 offensive rebounds, the big difference. You won't see those numbers often in any type of game on any level. And 33 second chance points did Indiana in. Yet Kentucky had plenty of opportunities to salt the game away and missed 10 in a row down the stretch. Still got the win. Opening tip belongs to Indiana. Dietrich Finn played his high school basketball for Steve Bruns. They look inside immediately. And Purdue bound Matt Kiefer misses. Ball still loose and picked up by Stockton of the Kentucky Stars. He's on the move up the floor and a beautiful move to the basket, but he lost it. And a rebound to Sean May. We'll call his name a lot tonight. Here's Finn, who had the pleasure of playing for Bruns. An interesting article today in the Indianapolis Star about playing for a very active coach. Kentucky on the break, and the layup is missed, and neither team able to score the first 50 seconds.
All Stars or not, it's going to take a few minutes for each team to settle down and get into the rotation and the rhythm a little bit.
That was just a beautiful no-look pass from Dietrich Finn, who found Kiefer for the shot, but that was set up nicely by 13 Dietrich Finn. And again, Finn has played his high school basketball for Bruns, and he really enjoys playing for Steve. I mean, Steve will get on him. He'll leave practice on occasion, to get his message across, and doesn't seem to bother Finn, the point guard.
Well, if you know what you're trying to accomplish as a young man, you appreciate a coach like Steve Bruns because he does work you extremely hard. Someone asked him one time why his team played so hard. He said, because we practice hard.
Yes, good carryover from practice to game. Indiana 3, Kentucky nothing. Here's Stockton with a look from the arc. Good defense by Indiana in the opening minute and 15 seconds. Kentucky will have 10 to work with on the possession.
Much better rhythm by the Kentucky All-Stars that time. Even in their second possession, they moved the ball and waited for their offensive players to set up, getting the spots inside, play a little inside-outside.
Down to 5 to shoot. Kentucky needs to look for an opportunity, and now 3. And the bounce pass inside, stolen away. This is Winchester on the break for Indiana. Unable to convert. It is out of bounds. It belongs to Kentucky. Both teams seem to be a little bit uptight in the early going.
Winchester won't miss very many of those.
No.
he hasn't in his career. He averages 34.7 points a game, so he doesn't miss very often.
The other night, the Indiana All-Stars missed very little in their 40-point win over the Junior All-Stars. Little hop inside taken by LeVar Carter. A foul called on Indiana. It'll be a shooting situation for Carter.
That foul was on Sean May. His first, obviously.
You look at Rodney Carney, who is headed to Memphis, his hometown, to play for John Calipari. And I think Carney may have been credited with a foul on that situation.
Carney.
First points of the game for Kentucky come about 1:45 in. Winchester out-battles the taller man for the rebound. Anthony Winchester will play at Western Kentucky next year. They got doubled but found Diedrich Finn from the outside. Here's Kiefer with a chance to clean up. Some missed opportunities for the Indiana All-Stars. Kentucky back on the break, missing a chance to tie. 3-1.
Well, Kiefer and Winchester both had great opportunities they didn't finish, and they will finish those.
Winchester will try his luck from the three, and here's Sean May with an offensive rebound. And May turning around gets fouled. That'll be free throws coming up for the son of the legendary Scott May, who starred for Indiana.
We had Bloomington North during the winter a couple of times, and Sean May looks like a slimmer and leaner Sean May. I'm sure that North Carolina has put him on a weight program or suggested one this summer, and it looks like he's following it.
It's the first free throw. North Carolina will need a lot of help after an awful year last year. And perhaps May can be part of that rebuilding for the Tar Heels.
You have to think that Sean May's going in there and seeing that and say, I've got an opportunity. I'm going to prepare myself to give me the best chance of being successful in my freshman year.
May gets both free throws. The lead is 4 for Indiana, 5-1, and we're just in the early going from the Sports Center in Owensboro. Jim Barber and Dave Nicholson. A step back three, nicely done by Maurice Hampton, who can shoot the ball well. In fact, during shoot-around today, Dave, he couldn't miss.
Well, that was a nice layout after the shot. You see a lot of three-pointers in high school anymore after they shoot. If there's any brush at all, they take the back block.
Kentucky with the block on the other end by big LeVar Carter. Indiana keeps possession, and Diedrich Finn, the fine point guard for Castle, handles. Good bounce pass underneath, and well done by Keith Christmas to May.
Excellent pass, interior passing by big people.
What you'll see from both teams is some good inside passing. May on the lead to Winchester. They've got a 2 against 1, and Winchester finds the open man for the slam by Rodney Carney.
You know, Carney's a young man that a lot of guys didn't know about till this year, but he's been a great player, and you know, he high jumps 6'11", and he's only 6 feet 6 inches tall.
His mom, a world record holder in a 60-yard dash. May comes up with his second block of the game as Indiana looks to improve on a 5-point lead. Look at him run the break. May can't finish, but the offensive rebound goes to Indiana. They'll get a third try, and Sean May with a putback gives Indiana a 7-point lead.
Give Keith Christmas credit for keeping that thing alive on the offensive board, and then Sean May was able to get it and put it back in. No one's happier about being an Indiana All-Star than Keith Christmas.
Christmas coming off the state championship for Westside. Another fast break, and Kentucky is not getting back as Christmas slams it home. 13-4 in favor of Indiana. And it doesn't look like Kentucky is in position to get into a running game tonight, Dave.
Another layup coming up.
How about a slam there by Carney again? Timeout, Kentucky. What a beginning for Indiana. Steve Bruin said early in the week, we're going to run the ball, we're going to push it. And so they have in the first 4.5 minutes.
And the success of that running has been their big people. You've seen Christmas back. You've seen Sean May get back.
That's Carney, who will play again for Calipari next year at Memphis. And just the way they run the floor, I mean, Carney is a big guy, but able to cross it over and beat his guy by a couple of lengths.
If you can get your big people to run the court like that, it's going to open the game up. You got to think Kentucky's going to start in that timeout saying, get back, we got to get back. Now if they get back, it's going to open up your perimeter players, and Indiana has a ton of guards that can shoot the ball very well.
Well, the state known for its thoroughbreds. Right now they belong to Indiana. 6-0 edge on the break. So let's see how the 30-second timeout affects the mental capabilities of Kentucky as the Stars, who have not scored in 2.5 minutes, look for their first points in a while. Carter's quite a presence inside. Didn't get a good angle on that. Back comes Indiana, not with numbers. And because of that, the turnover is forced. Carter goes to the basket and slams it home. And in the first 5 minutes, a lot to cheer about on both sides.
On that last series, Keith Christmas made an intelligent play. He was actually down on the floor, but he was touching the inline. The ball came right to him. He avoided contact.
This is a great angle to watch these guys play above the rim, isn't it, Coach?
Outstanding, Carter, on that dunk, because he had a defensive player contesting that shot. Follow up there on Christmas. He not only left the ball alone, he came back on court, got the defensive rebound. The only thing that he didn't do well was dribble full court, and I doubt if he does that too often.
Carney just picked up his second foul for Indiana. And we have a timeout. 14:50 for the opening half. Plenty of above the rim highlights. Most of them belong to Indiana. The Indiana Stars are up by 8, 15-7.
Methodist Sports Medicine Center, in partnership with Clarion Health, has successfully treated active people and athletes for 18 years. That's why more teams choose Methodist Sports Medicine Center for their health care needs. Methodist Sports Medicine Center, dedicated to the prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation of active lifestyle injuries. In sports, work, or play, choose Methodist Sports Medicine Center, the official medical provider for the Indiana All-Stars.
Chevy is the #1 selling car and truck in Indianapolis. Now get up to $3,000 cash back on select new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs. Returning Chevy Smart Lease lessees get an additional $750 loyalty bonus. Combine the loyalty bonus and get $500 bonus cash on Chevy Venture to get $4,250 cash back. To stay #1, Chevy has challenged your Central Indiana Chevy dealers to sell 3,500 vehicles by June 30th. The Chevy 10th celebration. In Central Indiana, we drive Chevy.
Look how cute the Boopy. The Boopy wants her binky.
Mommy's gonna get Boopy the binky. Can you say binky? Binky. Binky.
Everyone's going gaga over the fresh sliced deli meat and fresh baked bread of a Blimpie.
Try a Blimpie Best combo meal today.
Sean May's on the bench, but already 6 points for him, 6 rebounds. Indiana has dominated the boards by 9, 13-4.
Here comes Kentucky in a diamond and one press, trying to force Indiana to slow down, bringing it up court.
Indiana loses the ball in the second possession in a row, a turnover. That's 3 for the game so far. And we got a blocking foul coming up on the Indiana Stars, Evan Seacat.
That was a good call. Evan just didn't quite get set.
So Kentucky will have the ball out of bounds, and a look at Kentucky on offense, and Maurice Hampton, who already has a step-back 3 in this game. Stockton tries a 3 and buries it. Brandon Stockton, who averaged 26 points a game in high school for school in Glasgow, Kentucky. And right now Kentucky changing a little bit of the momentum, Coach.
Well, since they came out of that timeout, that 1-2-1-1 diamond and one press, it's been effective. They've drawn 2 charges. They forced Indiana to hurry up, take a quick shot. That time they forced a turnover, and each time Indiana was not able to get back quickly enough and get in defensive stance, and got called for the block both times. So a good timeout call by Kentucky and good results from it.
After a 15-4 beginning for Indiana, Kentucky has scored the last 6.
Jim, you have to think that Kentucky talked about slowing down the big guys, as Sean May and Kiefer and Carney have all but one of Indiana's field goals. But what Kentucky's got to realize, Indiana has guards that can shoot, so if they start sagging in, Indiana's guards have got to step up and prove that point.
Unfortunately for Indiana, one of the guards is not here tonight. Another steal by Kentucky. Stockton can't convert. It is out of bounds. No, saved by Kentucky to Indiana.
Well, 3 times in a row, Indiana has turned the ball over against that press.
And that pass almost went the wrong way as well. Kentucky fans wanted traveling. Here's another turnover by Indiana.
Got numbers.
And they'll look for a 3 from Hampton. I don't think Hampton has cooled off in this morning, Coach.
Well, he had a good look, and that was good penetration and pitch by Kentucky to get Maurice that 3-point shot.
10 straight points scored by Kentucky.
You see a screen away from the ball, but don't go Riley.
A lot of block thrown over there. That's a good football move.
It's a legal move. He's standing perfectly still.
Sure.
But a Kentucky player hit him and just froze.
Pace of this game started off heavily in favor of Indiana, then Kentucky changing some of its defensive structure, forced some turnovers, got some charges, and it's come back within 1 at 15-14. Turnovers in this game, already 6 for Indiana. But that has led to Kentucky's 6 steals in the game. I was going to say moments ago, Seth Colclasure is not here. He's a fine shooting guard who plays for Belmont High School, but his team is in the baseball state finals at Victory Field in Indianapolis, so he had to make a choice, and he made a good one. His team with an opportunity to win it all, and they've been held up at least one of the earlier games by a rain delay, so I believe they're underway tonight.
Excuse me, and you have no choice if your team's playing for a state championship. You're committed to that sport in season, but they're going to miss Colclasure. He averages 27 points a game, and he scored 2,207 career points.
Wow.
So he's a big-time outside scorer.
I talked to Steve Bruins earlier today, and I said, what about Seth's decision to go play baseball as opposed to tonight's game? And he looked at me kind of strange and said, what decision? He said, that's a no-brainer. Kentucky has moved the ball around very nicely after a rough start, and looking inside will allow an opportunity to shoot a couple of free throws. Brings Sergalski to the line. He knocks down the first one, and Kentucky, after trailing 15-4, Dave, has evened it up.
Well, let me tell you something that I failed to do earlier. I want to give the Shelby County Bank credit. Every free throw attempted by Indiana, they're donating $50 to the Indianapolis Star Linda Hand Fund. So they've already donated a couple of $100 in this ball game.
Indiana has had 5 opportunities from the line. Same for Kentucky, and again, the game is even. They look inside to Sean May. He may get a goaltend on that and a foul. We'll see.
The goal is good by Sean May.
Basket is good for Sean May, his 8th point of the night. And after a quick rest, he's at the free throw line to try to add to it.
Nice demonstration of Sean May's added strength there. They got his arm on the way up, but he was strong enough to go ahead and get the shot up, and Kentucky helped him out a little bit by basket interference call.
Dave, you mentioned the $50 donated for every free throw attempt to
There's another 50.
fund started by the Indianapolis Star.
Can't lose, hit or miss.
Yeah.
Every free throw attempt.
Kentucky girls attempted 45 in the first game. That would have been a bonus had Indiana been in that situation. Again, the Kentucky girls won their game 79-77, coming back from 17 down. Here it's a 2-point game in favor of the Indiana Stars, and they'll zone it right now against Kentucky, who has just a few seconds to do something. What a good offensive rebound, but traveling called as Sergalski got position, but then came down and traveled.
Went so high for that rebound, off balance. Kentucky's staying with that pressure defense, and I would too, because that's clearly brought them back into the ball game. They'll trap as soon as the ball enters the court. You need to look down court or get it in the middle. Good diagonal pass there.
Schoen bakes the press, falls down. We have a whistle. It'll be out of bounds to Indiana.
And they need to check the floor there. It looked like his foot just slipped, and the official's doing that very thing.
Kentucky with 9 points off 3 made threes. Indiana has attempted 2, missed them both. Kentucky now racing the ball down and looking for the basket. That one deflected away and saved. Well done by Avery Sheets. A long-range 3 by Seacat is no good. It is out of bounds to Kentucky, and a look from Coach Steve Bruns on that one.
I was going to say, you're looking at Steve Bruns. You're not going to say too much as an all-star coach, but I guarantee you that's not the shot that he wants taken. And in regular season, he would have said something.
Seacat's got good 3-point range, so he'll attempt a few more before tonight's over. Now Indiana comes up with a steal. That's by Avery Sheets. And as he tries to run the length of the court, he is fouled by Johnny Mathis.
Great job there by Avery Sheets of turning his body and protecting the ball and forcing the Kentucky player to make the contact.
And with a foul by Mathis, chances are that's his first.
Timeout on the court.
Both teams have been on a run in this one, and Indiana has a slight advantage of 2. We played 8 minutes in the first half.
The corner office has a washing machine, and you're the chief operating officer. And between balancing the chores and the kids, you've got to balance the books. That's where Meijer comes in. In one stop, you can save on groceries, meat, and produce, to housewares, fashion, and cosmetics. Who says a mom can't have a 401k plan? Meijer.
Of all the minivans available today, only one comes with the government's highest 5-star safety rating, a 10-year warranty, and a starting price of under $20,000. The Kia Sedona. Pretty impactful, isn't it?
Visit your local Kia retailers through June 30th.
Indiana started well, leading by 11, now just up by 2. The problem has been turnovers, 7 of them for Indiana to match their 7 field goals. And the 7 turnovers have led to a number of Kentucky points here in the first half, Coach.
And most of those resulted after that timeout by Kentucky. And since then, they've come with that full court pressure, and it's been the difference.
Good position inside for Blake Schoen, who will head to play college basketball for Bruce Weber at Southern Illinois next year.
In my opinion, Schoen is going to make Coach Weber a great player. He is also an excellent football player, and he actually wavered which sport he's going to play in college, and you have to give Bruce Weber a lot of credit. He won the recruiting battle.
How about the year Bruce had with SIU going to the round of 16?
That was a great play there. Schoen actually went over and back screened May. The defense with May, and he posted up and finished it off.
We're mentioning how good a football player he was, All-State at defensive back for his high school. The pull-up jumper is in and out, but an offensive rebound for Kentucky. And taken away by Indiana. And they'll run the court again. May was the trailer there if they could find him. Indecision by Diedrich Finn, but he did get a hand on the break, at least to stop the fast break. He'll also pick up a personal foul.
See that happen a lot. Player comes down. Finn got caught in the air, threw the ball away. He wanted to make up for it too quickly. Should have just come back and played real solid on defense.
Indiana's going to use a 30-second timeout with 11:17 to go in the first half. Kentucky just shooting 25% from the floor and 4 of 16, but has found its way back. Wednesday night, Wawasee High School doubleheader. Indiana Junior All-Stars from both the boys and girls will challenge the Indiana Stars that you've been seeing tonight. That's in Syracuse, Indiana. Beautiful town, great resort area. 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock at the starts. There are tickets available
they set some back. The rumors going around it was a sellout, but Paddock and the Indiana game director, they have held 1,400 tickets back, and there will be tickets sold at the door.
Good chance for people to see Shauna Zolman for the last time, who starred at Wallacey.
What an outstanding player she is. She's as good as I've seen for the girls' side of going one-on-one.
Indiana has the edge rebounding-wise. Sean May has almost half of those rebounds tonight. And it's a 4-point lead for the Stars from the Hoosier State. Indiana goes man-to-man and now almost does a double. Tough looking three from the outside. It's missed. The long rebound taken down by Winchester. He looks to fast break with Kentucky. Takes it away again. Another Indiana turnover. That's number 9. And the favor is returned as May picks it off. And then May turns around and throws it away. And the basketball's getting a little sloppy here.
And Steve Bruns comes out and puts up both hands. Says, let's just get a little bit of control. What happened on the first one, they tried to hit Chris Hunter, a 6'11" on the dead run. You got to let the big guy establish his position and then get the ball to him. Same thing for Kentucky. They had to try to make the pass to the center on the move, and Sean May was able to step in.
Ooh, tough play for Finn, who nearly ran into the little barrier over there. But he's okay. He's back at it. Tough point guard from Castle, playing for his head coach here in the All-Star game. A little bit too close for comfort, and a personal foul called there.
Avery Sheets hand checking. The assistant coaches, this did not come from Steve Bruns, who coached Finn in high school, of course, have said that Finn has had perhaps the best week of practice of any All-Star, so he's looked very, very good.
Free throws coming up for Mathis. Kentucky already in the bonus, just at the halfway point of the opening half. Keith Christmas back in the game. He replaces his high school teammate Chris Hunter.
Christmas just announced that he is going to Memphis. That was a late signing, as he was hooked up to the University of Idaho, and that didn't work out, but he is definitely going to be at Memphis.
Second free throw kind of dies up there on the rim, so it remains 19-16. Steve Bruns hollering out, set it up, and at the same time, settle down a bit. Finn got pinched in the corner, but bailed out by a foul on Kentucky.
Kentucky foul on number 7, Dante Smith.
It's on Dante Smith, and Smith has developed some foul problems in this game. That's number 3 already, and he's not going to see a whole lot of playing time if this continues. He'll be replaced by LeVar Carter. Well, not what an all-star game is expected for by a youngster, hoping to get some playing time. Indiana getting more than its fair share of rebounds and second chances. And that one put back up and in by Winchester.
All of these players on both teams are going to have to adjust their game for the new level because they've all been big-time scorers. And you're seeing Avery Sheets tonight running the point guard, and looks like he's trying to really think like a point guard. Of course, in high school, he averaged 25 points a game, but now at Butler, you bet he's going to have to pass first and shoot second.
He'll be playing for Todd Licklider, who just got a contract extension for a few more years.
Well deserved.
Oh, yes. Butler's had some great years recently. Good-looking crossover by Finn, who then tries to dish off to Kiefer, and Kiefer is going to be called for a walk.
That was a good pass, but Finn, there's only one criticism I had. It was down low. If you're going to pass the big guy, don't let, and the defense of Kentucky did a great job of not letting him get it above his waist. Got to throw the ball a little higher to the big people.
Indiana really has owned the glass today, 22-9, a rebounding edge, led by Sean May and Anthony Winchester. Most of Kentucky's shots have come from the outside. Here's Finn in the open court, trying to do a little crossover, lost the ball, and a breakaway coming up for Kentucky. Beautiful looking follow-up, and it looked like Carter able to tip that in. He's going to be quite an addition to Marshall next year.
That was an absolute great move. He put it up on the glass, went with his left hand, dipped it back in.
Indiana by 3, 21-18. And LeVar Carter comes down with a rebound.
When you talk about the rebound advantage to Indiana, and you talk about how they're playing, and we've said a lot about that. Give Kentucky credit. They're only down 3 with 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the first half.
Despite the advantage very heavily for Indiana on the boards. That's a long 2 by Carter. Well, I like watching LeVar Carter play, Coach.
I've got him for 7 unofficially, and he only averaged 12 during the regular season, so he's having a great ball game.
That's bonus money for Kentucky. 8:14 to go in the first half. Timeout is called, and the game now at just a 1-point difference. Indiana had 21-20. A look at Kentucky moments ago on offense.
That's Carter hitting that long 3, and I believe that made his 8th point of the night.
So LeVar Carter, who will head to Marshall next year, has brought Kentucky back within a point. A good look inside the Commonwealth's huddle here at Owensboro, the Sports Center. Lots of opportunities for both teams. Neither team doing well on the shooting side of the game. Indiana just 9 of 23, and Kentucky no better.
You know, this is a great experience for every kid on both sides, Kentucky and Indiana, to be an all-star for their state. And they get to do a lot of other things during the week. Like Monday, they're going to meet with Governor O'Bannon in his office. This week, they visited the Paola French Lick Resort area. They're going to visit the NCAA, NC2A Hall of Champions. 1:30, they're going to sign medallions, sign autographs. Pat Aikman's done a wonderful job of getting the Indiana All-Stars in a lot of social situations and helping kids along the way.
It has been a very active calendar for these kids, and it will continue later tonight. There'll be a reception for the players, the coaches, and fans at the hotel they're staying here in Owensboro. And then it's up early tomorrow. We'll be on the road by 8 o'clock back to Indianapolis.
And I didn't mention this game has raised over $2.6 million for Indiana charities.
Got a wonderful history, doesn't it? On a fight for the loose ball, it's Brandon Stockton. He's got a man to beat, and what a gorgeous pass.
Wow. Sometimes it's wrong to go behind your back. That was exactly the right time as he saw Rodney Carney bearing down on him, who can leap out of the arena.
You know, Stockton's had a very active last couple of weeks. Besides playing for the Kentucky Stars, his head coach in college, Tubby Smith, has said, get your butt down here to play in some of those scrimmage games. So he's had to go back and forth to Lexington, and that's kind of challenging for a kid hoping to enjoy a bit of his summer.
It's about a 3-hour drive from here. So you're talking 6 hours in the car, or 6 hours in the car, go to class, and also practice with the Kentucky All-Star.
Time running out in this possession, and Kentucky comes up with yet another steal. It's Mathis, strong to the basket, and the Bluegrass State has gone up by 3.
Turning point in that game is when they called that early timeout, got into the press, and forced Indiana to hurry their shots, if not turn it over.
Really has bothered Indiana, because in this game, Kentucky has 15 points off of Indiana mistakes.
Number 14, his first team 7. In the game for Indiana, number 9, Evan Seekamp, placing number 7.
Under 7 minutes for the first half. A blow coming up for Brandon Cameron, who will head to Penn State to play Big Ten basketball next season, after completing the run for the state title with his teammates.
Big Delco Riley not able to get that one down. And of course, Delco is going to continue playing for Michigan State University.
And a play for Tom Izzo. We have a timeout. We're in Owensboro, Kentucky tonight, where Kentucky's speed has led them to a small advantage, 24-21.
The Canon Rebel 2000. When circumstances change, just turn the dial, and you'll turn a snapshot into a photograph. What the? So now you know how to stay in control.
Do you mind? Thank you.
The Rebel 2000 from Canon.
Shop Roberts, your favorite camera store for Canon cameras, downtown, Carmel, and in Blue.
People aren't just stopping at BP Connect for what's outside, but also for what's inside the Wild Bean Cafe, with hot and hearty, hunger-taming sandwiches, crisp cold salads, fresh from the oven cookies, sparkling cold beverages, and delicious Wild Bean coffee. Now, feeding your appetite is as easy as filling your tank. BP Connect.
Get a free fountain drink with any salad or sandwich purchase at BP Connect.
Kentucky fell behind 15-4 in this game because of Indiana's fast breaks, but then turned right around with some good defensive pressure and the press, and then starting to running the court on Indiana.
And there's a great behind-the-back pass by Stockton to give his team a layup put up by Mathis. There's another steal by Mathis for another wide-open layup. There's no question the difference in the game has been the forced errors, and sometimes it's not an error, but they force the Indiana Ball Club to shoot quicker than I'm sure Steve Burns wants to. The only surprising thing that you see the scoring drought there for Indiana is big, but the low, Jim, the low score is a little surprising. But remember, every kid out here has been a great scorer, and they may be shooting one pass too early.
Sometimes in these games, too, it takes a while for the team start to crank it up, but then it happens, and points come pretty easily. Sean May has 8 points in the game to lead the Indiana Stars. He also has 6 rebounds. The edge still pretty strong to Indiana rebounding, but the turnovers have neutralized them in this game. Finn on the lean-in. And great crashing the boards by Raleigh, who tries to put it back up and in. Now Sean May with a second opportunity. And Indiana very hungry inside.
Well, you get Delco Raleigh and Sean May in there going at the boards. It's like a volleyball game till it goes down. I would give Kentucky another credit here. Early on, May and the big guys were leading the fast break, and Kentucky is getting back and slowing them down on that.
The other night, May did not miss a field goal attempt. 11-for-11 in the exhibition game at Mackey Arena.
Carney, number 12, his third.
Carney picks up his third foul, so Carney and Smith of Kentucky already in pretty rough waters foul-wise. And it means more free throws for Kentucky, and back to the line, LeVar Carter.
One thing about the All-Star squads, though, your bench is always deep.
Yes.
Foul trouble is not as critical as on a normal thing.
Should never have to complain about lack of support.
Blake Schoen is coming back in, and I believe he's added tape to his right knee. Remember, he's the one that slid in the free throw lane down on the other end of the court earlier. And I hope he didn't strain the knee. I hope he just skinned it a little bit, and that's to cover up maybe some bleeding.
Carter almost at his season average. 25-23 in favor of Kentucky. We're under 6 minutes for the first half. I like the way Finn handles the ball, and he finds Raleigh underneath, but that one swatted away. May with a second chance. Ball saved, back to May. He can't get it. Maybe he'll get another try. It's May again. It's Sean May everywhere.
It's one of those deals again where Delco Raleigh got the first attempt. Sean May said, I'll take over from here. I'll just shoot till I make it.
How about a double-double already for Sean May? We played less than 15 minutes. He's got 12 rebounds and 10 points.
Well, there's been times during the career that people have questioned where Sean May plays hard enough, as you see him here, get 2 or 3 efforts and finally gets it down on about the third attempt. But no one can question how he's playing tonight.
And he has Indiana into a tie at 25 all. Hampton a chance to put Kentucky back ahead. There's Carter, who's had a very active game for the Bluegrass State. That's a long three for Stockton, and it's tipped back up and in by Hill. Melendez Hill somehow got position inside. Well, most of the rebounds have belonged to Indiana, not on that series. Good two-man game, and a nice look outside for Seacat. He's got that great range. He had 4 threes the other night. That's the first 3 for Indiana tonight.
The big guys from Indiana have been scoring so well. That time when the ball was passed to Sean May, the double team came. Good inside-outside play. Right back out to Seacat, who had his feet set, ready to go. Nice pass.
Nobody able to pick up the inside man, and Raleigh recovered, but the draw foul as Hill got loose.
Indiana foul on number 10.
Great bounce pass down low by Silverhorn. That's a pass that a lot of guys do not have in their repertoire, and they need it. When you're feeding the post, it's a great way to feed it is with the low bounce pass.
Hill's high school ball in Paducah, Kentucky. He will play on at Eastern Kentucky. And the Kentucky boys having similar problems to what the girls did in their game, just 6 of 12 from the free throw line. And a second chance for Hill. And he reties the game at 28. Jim Barber, Dave Nicholson, we're getting down to the closing moments of the opening half. Indiana had the great surge at the beginning. Kentucky has fought its way back in good position. Just a little jump stop for Chris Hunter, who heads to Michigan next season, and Tommy Amaker has to be pleased with what he is seeing tonight from him if he's watching from a distance.
I think the upside of Chris Hunter is tremendous. That time he did an excellent job of establishing himself to receive the pass. The hardest work for a postman is to get ready to catch the ball.
It's going to be an offensive foul called on Carter.
Kentucky foul on LeVar Carter, number 15.
And with that, we have a break. Rebounding has been the subject and the story tonight for both teams. The edge is favored to Indiana, but Kentucky, as of late, has been doing a little crashing of their own.
The corner office has a washing machine, and you're the chief operating officer. And between balancing the chores and the kids, you've got to balance the books. That's where Meijer comes in. In one stop, you can save on groceries, meat and produce, to housewares, fashion, and cosmetics. Who says a mom can't have a 401k plan? Meijer.
This is Bobby Leonard for National Car Sales. Celebrate a legend of Indiana. Billy Keller was one of the league's legendary stars. Although he was vertically challenged, he could still mix it up with the big guys.
Hey, Slick, if I'm a legend, what's that make you?
Hey, I'm still better looking than you. Experience National's legendary customer service and discount pricing.
National Car Sales is over 40 Ford F-150s from $12,995.
Out by the big old green sign at National Car Sales.
We are the sons and daughters of every hometown, playing this great game from street corners to cornfields.
I am USA Basketball.
And this summer, we will come together in this nation's heartland to take on the world.
We are USA Basketball.
Watch the USA Basketball team compete against the greatest players from around the world at the 2002 World Basketball Championship. For tickets, call 1-800-4NBA-TIX or log on to 2002worldbasketball.com.
Indiana leads this game 30-28. Our producer tonight, Bob Montel. Our director, Matt John. Matt's claim to fame when he played high school basketball at Elwood was spoiling the long winning streak in Noblesville of 43 consecutive games. Who was coaching that team? I forgot.
I don't know, but I requested for a new director as soon as I heard that. We had a great thing going on. It was the last game before Christmas. I told him about it this morning, and he ruined our Christmas.
By the way, that request was denied earlier this morning, but it was a good try, Coach.
We had a great time there in the mid-'80s, and Elwood had a nice ball club that year and finally shut it off.
Your place in Noblesville, pretty tough to win a game.
During the 80s, we won about 86% of them, so it was a good home court advantage. It helped that I had two uncles that were officials at that time.
I didn't know that, but thanks for sharing that with us.
Well, I think the time's already run out. They can't make it short again.
Kentucky will have a breakaway in this one, and why not cap it off with a slam by Hill.
Give him an 8. That was a good one.
Hill can lead. On the other end, Schoen with the easy open jumper. Blake Schoen with the basket. And the scoring, which lacked in the beginning, starting to pick up nicely.
the scoring has picked up the last few minutes, and you see, we've seen a lot of the typical all-star stuff. In other words, they try to go between their legs or behind the back in traffic, and you see that in all-star games. Most coaches, if it's regular season, they kind of point out that's not the time to do those kind of things.
Matt Kiefer hits the basket. Indiana back up by 4, 34-30. Kiefer does a nice job of running the open court for a big guy. In fact, that's one of Indiana's strengths. We've seen a lot of that tonight. And Kiefer comes down with a loose ball, and back comes Indiana. This is a 3 against 1. If they can catch up with it, that's an open 3. Now Kentucky's got some numbers. 3 against 2. Great pass from Stockton, and what a beautiful reverse layup for Kentucky. Ryan Silverhorn will play in Georgetown, Kentucky next year. And boy, this tempo is picking up very nicely here.
Silverhorn made a great move last time down, avoiding Kiefer. Kiefer thought he had him taking a shot he didn't want to take. Silverhorn finished it off the backboard. I think Kiefer's a kid who'll step in and help Purdue next year. I really do.
Well, the Makers are going to get some good support from the outside. And in fact, one of the Westside products not here tonight, but Kenny Lowe, who sat out because of an injury problem, will rejoin Purdue for this season, so strong defensive player.
Anthony Winchester, number 11, Avery.
Brandon Stockton in the open court just has the pretty no look, and you can't ask for anything better from Silverhorn to finish it off that way.
And if you're back to defending 2-on-1, you have to give Matt Kiefer credit doing everything he could. He made him change, go under the basket, put it up on the other side, and it was just a great offensive move.
Well, one of the neat things about all-star games is even though sometimes you get a little bit too much showmanship, you do get some great athleticism. We're seeing a lot of that tonight. Sean May tipped it in with the left hand, but that's not going to count.
Boy, that was close. I thought maybe that had cleared the rim, to be honest. Let's take a look. You be the call here. I called it good basket. You see what you call here.
Let's see if you're right.
I thought
I'm not sure where he touched it.
I thought it was out in front, and I thought it was a good tip. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think he touched the rim at all, certainly. It didn't seem to affect the ball as it was going down. It was still on the way up.
Yeah, it had cleared the cylinder range.
Other than that, I don't have a problem with the call.
No. I don't think they're going to let us change it so much.
No, sir.
We move on.
36-32 Indiana, and 10 seconds on this possession. We're deep into the first half. Kentucky with the ball. Sergalski, and Kiefer takes it away from him, and back comes Indiana with Winchester. That's a long-range 3, and all Indiana coaches say pull it out. And sometimes that's hard to do in an all-star game.
That's a good decision. You leave before. You can take the last shot. Smart decision.
Now 10 seconds for the first half. Winchester handling and looking under 5. That's a 3. Rebound Kiefer. And before he can put it back up with 4:10 to go, Matt Kiefer was fouled. He's got a couple coming.
Kentucky a little bit asleep at the wheel there to give Indiana 3 opportunities. And Kiefer went up and got the offensive bound and gave himself a chance to get 2 points and really gave Kentucky, more importantly, not a chance to get a shot off with 4/10 of a second on the clock.
The other thing of note is LeVar Carter, who is one of their better leapers, just got his 3rd foul. Shelby County Bank makes a $50 donation to the Stars Lend a Hand Fund. That's for every free throw that's attempted tonight by the Indiana Stars. Kiefer knocks them both down. Time enough maybe just to tip it in from 94 feet. Stockton catches and shoots and didn't miss by much. Halftime from Owensboro. The Indiana Stars, on the strength of Sean May with 12 points, have a 6-point lead at 38-32. We'll be back.
From the first track and field championship in 1921 to the flavor, pageantry, and tradition of today's 84 NCAA men's and women's championships, the NCAA Hall of Champions celebrates the extraordinary journey of the student athlete. The NCAA Hall of Champions is located in White River State Park, downtown Indianapolis, where you'll also find the Campus Corner gift shop with officially licensed NCAA gifts and apparel. For more information, call 1-800-735-NCAA.
The corner office has a washing machine, and you're the chief operating officer. And between balancing the chores and the kids, you've got to balance the books. That's where Meijer comes in. In one stop, you can save on groceries, meat, and produce, to housewares, fashion, and cosmetics. Who says a mom can't have a 401k plan? Meijer.
Hey, it's me, Peter, but you knew that. Look, I don't know how to say this, but, you know, I need to move on. I mean, you probably noticed that I'm not the same person I was a few months ago. I mean, you have been great, really. I just need to be on my own for a while. Well, thanks for everything, and guess this is goodbye, huh?
The extremely therapeutic Acura TL Type S.
Winchester 2, Christmas 2, Hunter 2, Seacamp 3, Carney 4, Jones 6, Keeper 7.
Halftime here in Owensboro, the Sports Center. Indiana leading by a score of 38-32. Jim Barber along with the director of the Indiana All-Star Games, Pat Aikman. He's got a better smile on his face now. Long face after the first game, in which the girls lost a pretty big lead.
Yeah, I was really disappointed, and what can I say? We lost last year by 3, tonight by 2. Maybe we'll get in the ball game next year.
Hoping for at least a split in this series. Now, as for the boys, you pretty impressed by what you've seen in the open court tonight?
Well, it's been kind of up and down. It's been a game of spurts. We were ahead 15-4, and then they caught up and went ahead. Now we're back ahead. I'm particularly impressed by Sean May's very hard play and Matt Kiefer's play. I think our guards have made some mistakes and perhaps are trying to do some things that they can't do against this Kentucky speed and athleticism. But it's nice to be ahead by 6.
Pat Aikman's put together a great dance card for the 2 weeks for the guys. They'll be playing in an exhibition game Wednesday night. The nice thing you do with these All-Stars, you keep them busy, don't you?
Well, we sure do. And, you know, we have them for 2 weeks, and we'll meet the governor Monday afternoon and take them out to the Stefan Johansson Karting Center for the All-Star Grand Prix, as we call it. Friday night, we've got a big event coming up. It's a reunion cycle for all the teams and players who played in 42, 52, 62, and so on. Kind of an interesting story. Some friends of Jim Goose Ligon in Kokomo are bringing Goose back from Louisville for that reunion dinner, and they've been working hard, and we're looking forward to having him. Of course, he was on Kokomo's state champions that defeated the Van Arsdales in 1961.
Of course, the return game will be next week in Indianapolis at Conseco Fieldhouse, and that night you've got tickets available. The other advantage you have to that is you can buy a couple of the seats there and also get one for free.
That's true. You can buy a $5 or a $10 ticket and get one free. Of course, we're going to be playing in Wawasee on Wednesday night, and I would think after the performance tonight of Shauna Zolman that everyone watching tonight's telecast and people in that area are going to want to get to see her play one more time. I'm sure she's going to be playing a lot for Tennessee.
And I mentioned earlier, too, there's a reception for both the guys and girls teams tonight here in Owensboro at the Executive Inn, and then they got to get up early tomorrow and head on back to Indianapolis, so you do keep them pretty active.
Well, they don't have to get up early. Tomorrow is their day, and Sunday or Monday until 1 o'clock, and then we want them back in Indianapolis to wrap things up and hopefully to get a sweep in Indianapolis.
Boys leading in this game 38-32. Thank you, Pat. Appreciate you joining us.
Glad to have you aboard.
And we'll continue with halftime where the Sports Center where the boys have a 6-point advantage by 38-32.
The Canon Rebel 2000. When circumstances change, just turn the dial, and you'll turn a snapshot into a photograph.
What the?
So now you know how to stay in control.
Do you mind? Thank you.
The Rebel 2000 from Canon.
Shop Roberts, your favorite camera store for Canon cameras, downtown, Carmel, and in Bloomington.
The corner office has a washing machine, and you're the chief operating officer. And between balancing the chores and the kids, you've got to balance the books. That's where Meijer comes in. In one stop, you can save on groceries, meat, and produce, to housewares, fashion, and cosmetics. Who says a mom can't have a 401k plan? Meijer.
At Kia's all-model sales event, you can get up to $2,500 cash back or 0% financing on a new car, like the affordable Rio, redesigned Spectra, and the rugged Sportage. What's even more attractive, they're backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
Should we tell them all model means all car models? I agree.
Get up to $2,500 cash back or 0% financing. Visit your local Kia retailers through June 30th.
Just about 30 minutes across the bridge from Evansville, Indiana, here in Owensboro, where the boys All-Stars have the lead at halftime in the second game of 38-32. I'm Jim Barber. What a wild first game we had tonight, in which the Indiana girls had a 17-point lead with a little more than 13 minutes to go, then fell behind by 5 down the stretch. Kentucky missed 10 free throws in a row. Indiana tied but lost the game in the final seconds, 79-77, and it's certainly worth a look, as Indiana had the opportunities because Kentucky could not hit free throws. Zolman on the pull-up 3, cut the margin to 2, and then moments later, off the inbound, Zolman with a great pass to Candace Dark. The turnaround with 8 seconds to go, tie the game. But smartly, Kentucky got the ball up the court, found an open layup to go ahead by 2, and won the game 79-77. As Starden got the basket, and Kentucky with 33 offensive rebounds, not to mention all the second chance points, able to pull off the win after trailing by a huge margin earlier in the game. They'll rematch next week in Indianapolis at Conseco Fieldhouse. But again, tonight in our boys game, it's Indiana by 6 over Kentucky, 38-32. We'll come back to take a look at the first half. I'll be rejoined by Coach Dave Nicholson. So, as always, we invite you to stay with us.
Happy Father's Day, Daddy.
For me?
It's from Galleons.
You got me a gift from Galleons. I wonder what it is.
Dad!
What?
Are you gonna open that or what?
Yeah.
Get the gifts dads dream about at Galleons.
I just can't believe it. I'm losing my shirt.
Hey, tell me about it. My portfolio lost 30% last year.
I've changed brokers twice.
Mine keeps telling me risk is good.
Mine too. Mine too.
So how do we lose so much money?
I don't know.
Hey, how about some golf? 18 holes, huh?
You got it.
$20 a hole?
$1,000.
Look how cute the boopy. The boopy wants her binky.
Mommy's gonna get Boopy the Binky. Can you say Binky? Binky. Binky.
Everyone's going gaga over the fresh sliced deli meat and fresh baked bread of a Blimpie.
Try a Blimpie Best combo meal today. Whether searching for an elusive repair part or seeking the kitchen or bath of your dreams, visit Homestyle Kitchen and Bath and Economy Plumbing Supply.
Plunge into a new or updated bathroom with beautiful and functional fixtures, faucets, and cabinets. Create the kitchen you've always wanted with professional designers in cabinetry. Let us shower you with attentive service from our experienced team of experts. Our family has been part of economy and home style since 1932. Come in and let our family meet your family.
Our halftime continues from Owensboro, Kentucky. Jim Barber rejoined by Dave Nicholson. Just a moment ago, we finished up with the first half. We had kind of a difficult moments for Indiana despite the good start, and yet they still have a 6-point halftime lead.
Well, it's the big man game. Both sides, their big men have been carrying them offensively. When Indiana's big men run, they spurt out to 6 to 8 point lead. Then Kentucky, when they stop that, the lead goes away. Kentucky's press hurt Indiana, so I think it's Kentucky's press versus the big men of Indiana running the court.
You mentioned big men. Let's show you some of the big men. How about Sean May in his first half? A double-double, 12 points, 10 boards.
He's just played as well as I've seen him play, and I've seen him play a lot the last 4 years, and he's all over the boards. I think his new body's helping him make him quicker up and down the floor. He's able to play stronger, longer, because of his endurance factor.
For Kentucky, LeVar Carter's got 3 personal fouls. That's big, but he helped kind of turn things around a bit in the first half.
Well, Kentucky does not want Carter to pick up another foul real quickly. He needs to be in the ball game. He's got his rhythm. They need some other players to step up and help him, but he's done a wonderful job for them here in the first half as well.
Neither team has shot the ball particularly well. In fact, Kentucky's managed just 11 field goals. Indiana, without Seth Colclasure tonight, who is playing baseball in Indianapolis, just 1 of 8 3-point shooting.
Well, I think Kentucky may change this half and double down on the inside and open it up for the outside guys. That's the reason you're not getting a lot of threes, and it's also the reason the big guys are having fun inside. They're going one-on-one.
What an advantage for Indiana, too, rebounding-wise, 36-17. And a huge advantage, points to the paint. As for your top scorers in this game, number 1 is number 1 in scoring. Carter again the leader for Kentucky. The second half commences when we come back to Owensboro.
One of my best memories of coaching was Billy Keller firing up those 3-pointers, that old red, white, and blue ball spinning. Hey, that's what legends are made of. Introducing Billy Keller, a true legend of Indiana.
You know, Slick, I made the threes, but you clearly had the better turtleneck. Look at that.
Experience National's legendary customer service and discount pricing.
2000 Chevy Astro vans at National start at just $14,995.
Out by the big old green sign at National Car Sales.
The Canon Rebel 2000. When circumstances change, just turn the dial, and you'll turn a snapshot into a photograph.
What the?
So now you know how to stay in control.
Do you mind? Thank you.
The Rebel 2000 from Canon.
Shop Roberts, your favorite camera store for Canon cameras, downtown, Carmel, and in Bloomington.
High school basketball. It's always in season at the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame in Newcastle. The Hall of Fame has something for everyone, from exhibits on great teams and great players from years past, to the thrill of winning this year's state championship on a last-second shot. Basketball is Indiana's game, and no matter which of the 1,000 different high schools you cheered for, you'll find your hometown represented at the Hall of Fame. So here's the play. I-70 to State Road 3, then cut north 4 miles to the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame, your year-round ticket to basketball excitement.
Never before. Never again. $3,000 cash back on Ford F-150. Serious cash for serious buyers only. $2,500 cash back. Plus, get $500 in additional Ford dealer bonus cash. That's $3,000 in total cash. $3,000 cash back on the built Ford Tough F-150. But only till July 1st. Hurry to your Indiana Ford store today.
We're a full-service operation tonight, Dave. Not only our basketball score we provide, but also a little baseball, because the Indiana All-Star Seth Colclasure is playing the shortstop position for Belmont. He would have been here tonight, but minor inconvenience, his team playing for the state title against Vincennes Lincoln and leading in that game 1-0 top 5.
And Seth is the leading percentage batter on that team, leading hitter.
Good for him. Hope he wins the state championship tonight. In the meantime, in the battle of Mr. Basketballs, this has an eerie resemblance to Game 1 with the girls, where Indiana's top player, dominated in scoring with Kentucky. We all know the Indiana girls did not win that game, but Sean May, very active tonight, has the 12 points and the 10 rebounds.
As we mentioned there at the break, it's been a big man game, and you've got to look for Stockton to pick up the scoring for Kentucky in this half, because he is a big-time scorer, almost 26 points average on the season.
Brandon shooting just 1 of 7 from the floor. Most of those have been three-point attempts, so we'll see if he tries to get a little closer. Well, and as I mentioned that, 3-ball, deep pocket, good. So apparently at halftime, the feeling was don't stop making the tries for the basket. May tries to go strong and comes down to Kentucky. They've got a 4 against 1, and Stockton with the reverse. Ooh, a great opportunity for Kentucky.
That's legal to pick that up because it was deflected by Sean May.
So they'll keep possession, trailing in the game 38-35. Hampton will try a 3.
I would expect the guards and perimeter players on both ball clubs to open up a little bit in this half.
Well, you mentioned it was a big man game in the first half, and the big men really ran the open court well. Here's one of them for Kentucky, and before he can put the ball up, Dante Smith is fouled.
Foul was on Anthony Winchester as he reached in, and probably not a bad foul because it was pretty much a walk-in layup.
I mentioned earlier that Carter had 3 fouls. That's not correct. He has 2. His teammate Dante Smith, who is active in this game, has 3. It remains 38-35. Kentucky just 7 of 14, now 8 of 15 from the free throw line.
That was pretty amazing the first half. Kentucky was only 54% at the line, 53.8 to be exact. Indiana was 71%. That'll make a difference in a ballgame.
Trouble deep in the court, but able to save it to Sean May. Now Winchester handling the ball.
Might wonder why Sean May's out beyond the 3 line, but he is a good 3-point shooter, but they're going to run the pick and roll and then roll him down to the post. That's an entry they've used many times tonight. You see that a lot of colleges and a lot of pros in the NBA playoffs use the high screen above the 3 line and then roll the post man down.
In the game for Kentucky, number 13.
Carter picks up the personal foul. He's digging himself a hole in terms of the fouls. And in fact, now they have made a correction, or at least according to the PA announcer, that Carter does have 4 fouls.
I never doubted it.
Apparently I did, because I changed my mind. But that's a big loss because he had a great first half and was very active inside. Speaking of activity, the performance of Sean May tonight certainly doesn't go without notice, because while he has top scoring honors in this game, and it has been his rebounding that has been very impressive.
He goes after particularly the offensive boards very, very hard. And Sean May's a guy that can play some power forward down at North Carolina. When he was a sophomore, he was allowed to go out and shoot the 3-ball behind the 3 because they had a kid named Jeffries playing the inside a lot.
A reminder, Shelby County Bank makes a $50 donation to every free throw attempted tonight by the Indiana All-Stars to the Indianapolis Stars Lend a Hand Fund. Very nice charity and a nice effort by the Shelby County Bank. Very nice penetration, and Johnny Mathis, who just recently decided on his college, able to get the basket. It brings Kentucky back within 1.
The foul is on Stockton, number 1, his first.
Brandon Stockton just got his first personal foul. And a nice look by Mathis, and boy, just the way he uses his body inside. Well done.
Pretty hard to stop his penetration. He's got a quick first step.
No trouble beating the press. That means a layup and dunk for Sean May.
Pretty hard to stop that when Sean May gets behind your defense.
May had 23 points the other night in the exhibition game in West Lafayette. Kind of interesting. I asked Steve Bruns about playing the exhibition at Mackey because he had a lot of history as coach at Brownsburg. in the semi-state of high school basketball there. And Burns said, yeah, I don't know how many I lost there, but there were a bunch of them.
Well, you have to win a lot to get there.
Yes. That's a key. And he lost to some very good teams, including one led by Glenn Robinson of Gary Roosevelt.
Kentucky's turned the heat up on the press again, and Indiana, as they did in the first half, the last 2 or 3 possessions have had consecutive turnovers.
At the line. 2 shots.
Matt Kiefer got his first personal foul. That means Dante Smith, who is playing with 3 fouls, goes to the line. Southeastern Illinois, the next stop for Mr. Smith.
Into the game for Indiana, number 9, Evan Seacat, replacing Rodney Carney, number 12.
We've had 4 ties in this game, couple of lead changes.
Indiana just brought Evan Seacat back in the ball game, and that's really to get another ball handler in there, as he has Winchester, and now Seacat can help handle the ball as he has it in his hands right there.
Indiana's 3-point shooting has improved in this half. They don't need a 3 there. They just need the glass for Anthony Winchester. Winchester had a very exciting high school career, averaging 35 points a game. We saw Kentucky get to the line a lot in the first half, and Kiefer picking up another foul gives them another shooting situation.
Second personal, 3rd team.
So 2 second-half fouls by Kiefer, and already team foul number 3 in just a little more than 3 minutes.
2 shots.
I'll tell you one thing, Indiana had to bring in Winchester, I should say, Wynn and Seacat to handle the ball, but that hurts them on the boards a little bit because it's now down to 2 big people. That puts a lot of pressure on Sean May and on Kiefer.
Winchester with 2 personal fouls in this game. The free throw is good. Kentucky's lead is 1.
It's that same diamond and 1 they've used throughout the night. They double team as soon as the ball comes in, and then they play the passing lane. You can attack that by getting it in the middle, or you can throw over the top at the 10-second line. They did that earlier and got a 2-on-1 with Sean May down deep. Get it in the middle and go. There it is.
May on the bounce pass deep in the corner. Can Finn save it? He cannot.
It's a tough pass to make by Sean May. He probably should have established his position there, balanced, and taken it up on the. He had a height advantage. Put it to the glass.
Kentucky's coach is Joe Bergamini. He's right in front of us, and he has been all the way to the Indiana sidelines on a number of occasions. As you look at the mistakes Indiana has made, which has given Kentucky plenty of opportunity in this game. May collects yet another rebound. They'll start the push. And a nice soft pull-up by Brendan Cameron. So the lead goes back to Indiana, 45-44.
If you remember at halftime, Jim, Indiana out-rebounded Kentucky 36-17 in the first half, but that's been offset by Indiana making twice as many errors. So that's the only reason the score is close. If Kentucky can do a better job of rebounding, or if Indiana can quit turning it over so often, somebody's going to take off and create a little bit of a cushion in this ballgame.
The other problem for the Indiana Stars, the fouls start to mount up. They already have 4 in the second half. They're averaging 1 a minute. And in the first half, put Kentucky in the bonus less than halfway through. Kentucky in the dark uniforms. Mathis handles the ball and backs it up. The rebound taken down by 6'11" Chris Hunter. Hunter knows exactly what to do with it. But unfortunately, Indiana turns it back over, and it's a jailbreak for Kentucky. And the layup is good by Mathis.
Got to look deep to the 10-second line. Pass ahead, big guy, pass ahead.
Hunter's got about a foot on Stockton. And that one's stuffed away, and Kentucky puts the accelerator in motion again. What a beautiful pass inside from Stockton to Orlandis Hill. Finn comes back the other way on the run. Got the basket. Wait a minute. The charge. Looks like an offensive foul. And Steve Bruins is looking for some support over here. And he just got a technical.
Probably had to say something pretty strong. You don't see teams in the All-Star game too much. That might have been on the assistant coach. I'm not sure. I thought Steve had kind of had his say, and then by the time he turned, he was actually talking to us. As you see, Coach Bruns, I thought it was a block.
Yeah, I'm not sure Mathis was set.
No, his feet were still moving. I agreed with that. I thought it was a block. They called it a charge. You got to go with it. And that was a big play because Indiana had made that basket, and I thought they were going to shoot one additional free throw. Instead of down at the other end, you see Stockton shooting free throws.
Kentucky can't take advantage, but has a three-point lead. Things have heated up a bit. 48-45. We have 15-23 for the second half.
The corner office has a washing machine, and you're the chief operating officer. And between balancing the chores and the kids, you've got to balance the books. That's where Meijer comes in. In one stop, you can save on groceries, meat, and produce, to housewares, fashion, and cosmetics. Who says a mom can't have a 401k plan? Meijer.
Happy Father's Day, Daddy.
For me?
It's from Galleons.
You got me a gift from Galleons. I wonder what it is. What?
Are you gonna open that or what?
Yeah.
Get the gifts dads dream about at Galleons.
We are the sons and daughters of every hometown, playing this great game from street corners to cornfields.
I am USA Basketball.
And this summer, we will come together in this nation's heartland to take on the world.
We are USA Basketball.
Watch the USA Basketball team compete against the greatest players from around the world at the 2002 World Basketball Championship. For tickets, call 1-800-4NBA-TIX or log on to 2002worldbasketball.com.
When Indiana's had its good moments tonight, Coach, it's been on the break when the ball does not hit the floor.
Here's a good example on your screen. They're going to run the diagonal cut, clear out, through it to the middle. The guard brings it, gets Sean May behind this press. You got
a couple of dribbles there.
Excuse me, Jim. You can't have your 6'11s and 6'7s dribbling the ball behind the 10-second line up the court. That's fun to do, but it usually isn't successful.
Well, and I think we're all spoiled by the beginning of this game in which there was nothing but big guys up and down the court, and successfully done. But you're right, it's the guards that typically and understandably should handle the ball.
And the big guys got to run down court and establish a post, so when the defense pulls up, the guards can then drop it down, and they'll get that straightened out. That's a pretty good takedown there by Brandon Cameron.
That was on Cameron, number 7. First personal, 17 foul.
Kentucky has reached the bonus in 5 minutes here in the second half.
That is not good for Indiana.
No.
15 minutes left. You're going to have Kentucky parading to the free throw line.
12 makes for Kentucky, just 9 attempts for Indiana in the first game tonight. The Kentucky girls attempted 45 free throws and made 23.
Too early in the game to get too emotional. You know, we got 15 minutes left. There can be a ton of things happen between now and then. Either team could get out to a 10, 15-point lead.
Should mention in that first game, Indiana only attempted 20. Dietrich Finn rolls it in for the Indiana All-Stars, who are back within a basket.
Got away with splitting the two defenders by going behind his back. Not an advisable move, but it was successful that time.
And Finn's going to play in the A-10 next year, Atlantic 10 for Xavier. Bruns continues to bark at the officials, and they're barking back right now. A pull-up three is a little bit long.
I think the official will be real lenient here, but Steve doesn't want to push it too far.
No, sir.
One more, he goes to an early dinner.
Yeah, the reception around here is not scheduled to begin until about 10:30.
It looked like a terrible play. It really wasn't that bad. Evan Seacat had the ball, and you saw the big guy just step out, Hunter, and was going to set a back screen on him. About the time he did that, Seacat decided to feed him the pass.
Turnovers have reached 20 for Indiana. We still have a lot of ball left to play. 49-47. That's a tough pass inside for Kentucky. The two officials confer. It'll be out of bounds.
I thought Chris Hunter kind of napping there. That ball was kind of floated over his head, and 6'11". He can at least go up and deflect. He might not catch it, but he can knock it out of there.
Tough shot inside there, and good position by Chris Hunter. Hunter gave a look inside to his high school teammate Christmas. He's called for traveling.
I would still like to see Evan Seacat hang on to that ball until Hunter establishes a low block and not hit him on a dead run. That's hard for a big guy to catch the ball and put it down when you're 6'11".
This has not been a particularly good second half for Indiana. They started the half with a 6-point lead. They trail by 2 in all these empty possessions, not to mention the personal fouls, plus the technical. In the first 6.5 minutes, they've done everything possible for Kentucky to come back and take the lead.
Number 6, Blake Schoen, and number 10, Delco Raleigh.
Guys show a little bit of frustration coming out of the ball game, and again, guys, it's too early in the game to do that. We got 13.5 minutes left, and I know Chris Hunter was frustrated, and I didn't think that last error was his fault at all. As I mentioned, it should have been passed to him at a later time. But just stay calm, come back when the coach gives you a chance to make the most of it.
Mathis goes behind the back and looks for an interior pass. It's knocked out of bounds. Let's correct an earlier score. Wishful thinking. We were hoping that Belmont was in position to win. Vincennes Lincoln actually had a 1-0 lead and wins 4-0. And an Indiana All-Star, Seth Colclaser, unfortunately closes out his high school career in this game going 0 for 3. But Seth has had a great high school baseball career, and his basketball presence will be much needed next week at Conseco.
He'll have a full week of work with the team and be ready to go. And Indiana made a great play there, penetrated and found
In the game for Kentucky, number 16, Sarkowski.
Schoen underneath right there. That was a great wraparound pass, and Schoen is left-handed. That really worked in his favor. He caught it on the left side and had the player shielded off and finished it. Gets him the chance to add a free throw.
By the way, no disrespect toward Vincennes Lincoln. Congratulations on their championship. I guess when we say that we were pulling for Seth, we certainly were hoping that he would close out career in one way, shape, or form on a positive note.
I was a little confused how you can go from 1 up to 0.
Yeah, well, it was just a slight change there, but
Seth had a great high school career.
And, yeah, and congratulations to Lincoln on their championship. Well deserved.
Player control foul. In the game for Kentucky, number 3, Maurice Hampton, and number 4, Preston Lemaster.
When play resumes, Indiana will have the ball. Indiana has the lead. Not the most fluid of activity here in the second half.
New strategy, you've got Delco Raleigh dribbling the ball up the court in the backcourt, and Sean May taking it out. I know what they were trying to do is trying to get the guards, catch the inbound pass, split the defense, and go.
Here's May inside, working against the smaller man. No contest there against Maurice Hampton. And for Sean May, his 17th point.
Good two-man game there with Raleigh. May hit Raleigh, split to the basket, return pass for layup.
Mr. Basketball, Brandon Stockton handling the ball, but Kentucky is guilty of a turnover.
Kentucky stayed with this press most of the second half, and I think wisely so, because they are still, as you see on your graphic there, they're forcing Indiana a lot of turnovers, 22 in the ball game, and that results in a lot of possessions.
And yet Indiana still has the lead, now backed up to the 5. That's the third, or rather 13th rebound of the night for Sean May, who has 19 points, and the run has reached 9 in a row. 8 minutes gone by in the second half. The boys trying to get one leg up on Kentucky. And the series resumes again next week in Indianapolis.
Need to watch inside on Sarkowski and Delco Raleigh. They're really pushing on each other when they're away from the basketball.
Sergowski turns it over. Finn runs back for Indiana, gets a lane to the basket, and Diedrich Finn, well done.
That can work one of two ways. If a player you're banging on gets mentally upset, it's been successful. But sometimes that makes a guy more determined.
After a rough start to the second half for Indiana, their game has picked up nicely. And that's why the Indiana Stars are leading by 7, 56-49.
Methodist Sports Medicine Center, in partnership with Clarion Health, has successfully treated active people and athletes for 18 years. That's why more teams choose Methodist Sports Medicine Center for their health care needs. Methodist Sports Medicine Center, dedicated to the prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation of active lifestyle injuries. In sports, work, or play, choose Methodist Sports Medicine Center, the official medical provider for the Indiana All-Stars.
Chevy is the #1 selling car and truck in Indianapolis. Now get up to $3,000 cash back on select new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs. Returning Chevy Smart Lease lessees get an additional $750 loyalty bonus. Combine the loyalty bonus and get $500 bonus cash on Chevy Venture to get $4,250 cash back. To stay #1, Chevy has challenged your Central Indiana Chevy dealers to sell 3,500 vehicles by June 30th. The Chevy 10th celebration. In Central Indiana, we drive Chevy.
Welcome back. Indiana's in the home white uniforms. That's a good-looking point guard, Diedrich Finn, running the offense for the Indiana All-Stars, and pretty clear lane to the hoop, Coach.
Nice use of the left hand there on the finish. He's going to make a great college player, in my opinion.
He had a game this year against Evansville Memorial where he scored 41 points, had 10 rebounds, 11 assists, a triple-double. Kentucky has work to do, down by 7, despite all the Indiana turnovers. They haven't had many offensive rebounds, and Sean May takes that one away. The drought for Kentucky has reached 4 minutes. May's got a nice matchup there, and he recognizes it, a little two-man activity.
3-second
And
violation.
unfortunately, in the lane, too long for Indiana. 3-second violation, back to Kentucky.
Timeout on the court.
So we'll take a break. 10:52 is left in the game.
At our office, work is fun, play is serious, and women call all the shots. For Fever tickets, call Ticketmaster at 317-239-5151.
What are you doing? I'm working my tail off.
You're lying there in a bed.
No, this is just a symbol of how I feel in my new Red Wing boots.
It's a bed.
No, Red Wings just feel like a big comfy bed for my feet. It's a metaphor.
It's a bed.
It's a metaphor.
A bed.
Hey, you two, get back to work.
I'm getting a pair of those metaphors.
Mention this ad and receive $20 off your purchase of the new Super Soul 2.0. Whether searching for an elusive repair part or seeking the kitchen or bath of your dreams, visit Homestyle Kitchen and Bath and Economy Plumbing Supply. Plunge into a new or updated bathroom with beautiful and functional fixtures, faucets, and cabinets. Create the kitchen you've always wanted with professional designers and cabinetry. Let us shower you with attentive service from our experienced team of experts. Our family has been part of Economy and Homestyle since 1932. Come in and let our family meet your family.
Just moments ago, some of the activity with Indiana's Sean May, very active defensively.
That was a great play. Stayed on his feet, didn't bite on the fake, went up and got his hand on top of the ball.
2 blocks and again. Now, wait a minute. In the commercial break, you said that was just a B-.
Oh, well, I was setting up our director, that Elwood Panther guy, but I would give him an A on that.
Give Indiana A on the rebounding side, too. Second chance points, 10 advantage at 17-7. Brandon Stockton off the timeout. Handling the basketball, and the crossover brings Kentucky within 5.
Stockton had to use that teardrop to get it over Sean May that time. Did a great job of doing it. Here comes that diamond and 1 press again. Indiana has moved all 5 people in the back court. They're going to try to get it in the middle.
Indiana works against the press, able to get it across court, and here's the ball handler, Finn. The rebound comes to Kentucky. Look out here, plenty of numbers, and a slam by Dante Smith. If Smith can stay away from the 4th personal foul tonight, Kentucky's got a great chance to win this game. He spent a lot of time on the bench in the first half due to the fouls. On the penetration by Brandon Cameron, we have a personal foul. And a look at the way Kentucky runs the open court. Well done by Dante Smith. And as I mentioned it just moments ago, Smith got his 4th foul. So that's huge for Indiana. Dante again back to the bench. And will have to sit out a fair amount of playing time before he comes back. And hopefully for Kentucky avoids his 5th foul.
Replacing number 7, Brandon Cameron. Also number 8, Matt Keeper.
The coach tonight for Dante Smith, despite some of the highlights, he's only played 11 minutes.
He has played awfully well in those 11 minutes, made the most of them. The only weakness is little foul trouble. Nice inbounds play, a back screen for Sean May. Perfect inbound pass above the rim so he could put it down.
He's had quite a compliment in this game. On the pull-up jumper, that's a 3 for Maurice Hampton. Austin Peay in the state of Kentucky will be his next stop. And now Kentucky's within 2 at 58-56.
Got Avery Sheets there running the ball. Point guard. He should be able to handle this press.
3-point shooting tonight. Kentucky has made 5. Indiana has made just 1 of 8.
Nice take there, but leg shown. He showed the ball on the fake. Got the defender up on his toes. And again, I don't know if they figured out he's left-handed yet because they jumped at him and gave up the left-hand baseline.
He is the game for Kentucky, number 15, LeVar Carter. Replacing number 16, Mark Sergaski.
LeVar Carter returns. He's got 3 fouls against Smith on the bench for Kentucky with 4.
Sergaski leaving the ball game. He's helped on the backboard for Kentucky tonight. I think a while ago when Raleigh was banging with him, it kind of got him out of his game mentally a little bit. He needs to settle down, just keep playing, or he'll get banged a lot in there.
Shelby County Banks continue to make their $50 contribution for every free throw attempted tonight by the Indiana Stars. They've attempted 12, so that reaches a total of some significance. 9:15 left for regulation. 60-56. The Indiana Stars have the lead. No one able to put together a lead in this game of some consequence. A pass goes to the left of the receiver. May runs out to Schoen, who lays it up to the left hand, and May follows.
Sean May has been the man on the spot on those offensive boards tonight. He's running the court, getting himself in position. A lot of big guys have given up on that about the top of the key, thinking that's going to be Schoen's layup. Goes right down and puts it in. You see a replay here. There's May coming in and making sure it goes in the second time.
May also picks up a personal foul as he tried to get back on the defensive end. But he did a pretty good job of running from one end of the court to the other.
He's done a great job running the court tonight. Young people out there watching this game, both in Kentucky and Indiana, never give up on the basketball. If it's a loose ball, never give up, assuming someone else is going to win.
Butch Joyner.
with the basketball out high for Indiana. And he hands it off to teammate Brandon Cameron. Cameron runs the point for the moment. And Kentucky picks up a foul.
Double foul.
Ball will stay in the hands of Indiana. That means Avery Sheets will throw it in.
Double foul on Butch Journey of Kentucky and Blake Schoen of Indiana.
Both teams are in a bonus situation well over the limit. Hampton picks up his second foul, and that means free throws for Brandon Cameron.
One in the bonus.
Cameron well decorated on both arms.
Common trend. He's just a step ahead before he gets to the collegiate scene.
He'll be playing for Jerry Dunn next year, the Big Ten at Penn State University.
Both teams will shoot 2.
So both teams now are in the double bonus, meaning they'll shoot 2 at every offensive free throw opportunity. Hampton on the turnaround spin and another rebound for Sean May. They have reached 15 rebounds for him tonight.
And in that first half, Indiana shot awfully well from the free throw line, and Kentucky struggled. We'll see what happens down the stretch here.
That was a tough pass from Cameron. Somehow he made the toss to May, who put it in. And for Sean May, he has a game-high 25.
He's got great hands. He catches the ball. Quick pass, hard pass. A lot of big guys would not have been able to hang on to that.
There are a lot of areas that North Carolina will need help, and I agree with you. He's going to make an impact pretty quickly.
For 2 reasons. He has the ability to do that, and I think the shape their program was in right now, he's going to get the opportunity.
Well, and as you know, most people in Indiana thought he should have wound up in Indiana because of the bloodlines. Scott May playing and starring for IU in the mid-70s, leading them to a national championship. But he made the decision to go play for the Tar Heels. And now baskets are coming easy on both sides.
Picking up a little bit. Indiana has the 8-point margin, and they need to, I know they're wanting to tighten the defense a little bit, and Kentucky's wanting to take it to the basket quickly. So we'll see who is the strongest in those areas.
Indiana leading in this game, despite the fact it has only one made 3. Here's Hampton in the open court, and wisely Cameron did not try to track him down and foul him as he went up for the basket.
Like Schoen kind of went to sleep there. He got a rebound turn to go upfield, was not aware of Hampton coming in from behind.
This will be a full timeout as Coach Bruns says Indiana needs to talk this one over. Leading by 6 in the game, 68-62. The Indiana Stars have 24 turnovers and just one made 3 in 9 attempts, but their rebounding has been superb. 52-27.
Great picture there of Hampton coming in behind Schoen. Schoen had that rebound secured, but he just wasn't aware of the guy behind him, and Hampton came in and got a solo.
Maurice Hampton, coach, is Kentucky's top scorer. He's got 15 in this game, but little support after that. Mathis with 10 and Carter with 10. Mr. Basketball Brandon Stockton has been held to 8.
Hampton was almost 28 points per game as a high school player this past season, so he certainly can score. And the thing he's given Kentucky, and I think put a lot of pressure on Indiana's defense, is penetration. He's been outstanding. When he didn't score, he's punched it to an open shooter, but he has taken it to the basket very well off the dribble.
Now in the first game tonight, the Indiana girls had a sizable lead in the second half and couldn't hold it. Right now, the Indiana boys have a 6-point lead, 6:49 to work on in regulation. And in the Mr. Basketball comparison, frankly, there's been very little comparison needed.
Definitely tonight, Sean May has got the better of the matchup, and I'm sure Brandon Stockton will be thinking about that this coming week in practice. Interesting, Kentucky got back in this game with their press. They have now pulled back that time to the half-court defense.
We'll see how they work in the half-court as Winchester handles under 10, and Kentucky gets the steal. And Kiefer unable to catch up with Dante Smith, who slams it home. 68 for Indiana, 64 for Kentucky. Two-man activity finds Finn in the left corner. And we got a foul coming up on the Indiana All-Stars.
Two-hand push, I believe, by Winchester in the back, trying to take a little advantage on the offensive glass. Of course, with a foul situation like it is, that's giving Kentucky a free opportunity. It's a pretty good offensive lineup that Indiana's got out there, and the ball handling is a question. You know, of course, they do have Finn out there, who's a very good ball handler. He may have to carry quite a bit of the load.
Butch Joyner played his high school ball in East Jessamine, Kentucky, the very first player to be selected for the Kentucky All-Stars from that high school. Great honor. A return for Rodney Carney. And a seat for Anthony Winchester. Kentucky's within 3 points, and it's on the ability of their steals. 6:09 left. An 8-point lead has been reduced to 3 on the open court play by Dante Smith.
When circumstances change, just turn the dial, and you'll turn a snapshot into a photograph.
What the?
So now you know how to stay in control.
Do you mind? Thank you.
The Rebel 2000 from Canon.
Shop Roberts, your favorite camera store for Canon cameras, downtown, Carmel, and in Bloomington.
The corner office has a washing machine, and you're the chief operating officer. And between balancing the chores and the kids, you've got to balance the books. That's where Meijer comes in. In one stop, you can save on groceries, meat, and produce, to housewares, fashion, and cosmetics. Who says a mom can't have a 401k plan? Meijer.
Share the great moments of Indiana's favorite sport with your family at the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. Preserving Indiana's hardwood heritage, the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame in Newcastle.
In an all-star game, turnovers are not uncommon. The teams are just getting together for a few practices, and then they have to play the games for real. And we have seen in both games tonight, girls and boys, plenty of turnovers. And in this game, Indiana has reached 25, and Kentucky has made the most of it.
Well, Jim, you do expect to see more, but you don't expect 25. I know Coach Bruce didn't expect 25. In the first half, you remember Kentucky did not shoot their free throws well.
May with a very difficult follow-up. This is a 5 against 2. And Stockton has to parry a 3 and did it to tie the game. Well, you thought in the open court they'd get a layup. They get a game-tying 3 instead.
Great play there by Stockton. What I was missing on the free throws, Kentucky has taken 15 free throws this half compared to only 6 by Indiana. So that's 9 more attempts. They've made 3 more than Indiana's shot. So the percentage is not that much better. They're just getting to the line a lot more, and that's because they're attacking the basket.
Kentucky trying to add to its 10-0 run, and does. And I don't think anybody better out there in running the open court than Dante Smith.
Kentucky's pushed it up a notch. And this is almost similar to what happened to the girls. Remember, they were hit 17 points at one time, and in the latter part of the game, as you see this play, there's a great pass over the top of the defense. Outstanding. Makes an easy finish.
And the resemblance to the girls' game doesn't stop there, because Kentucky has missed 12 free throws tonight. The girls missed 22 and still won.
But Kentucky's getting so many more attempts that's still being effective for them from the free throw line in this half.
Well, a few minutes ago, it was Indiana 68-58. In fact, that was just 3 minutes ago at the 8.5-minute mark.
It's amazing when your offense kicks in how your defense steps up a notch too.
May strong to the basket and draws the foul. That's the right play for Indiana. Go to your money. And Sean May is alone inside the stop. They found him on a good catch, and he went right to the hoop.
I'm not blaming Butch Joyner for not staying there, but he was in perfect position to take the charge. And he's 6'9", 250 coming at you. He gave ground. I would have too. But he was in position to take that offensive, or the charge on the offensive play.
Shelby County Bank continues to make a donation for every free throw attempted tonight by the Stars. It's part of the charity of the Indianapolis Stars Lend a Hand Fund. May very graceful from the free throw at the line tonight is 5 of 7. His numbers have been terrific. 27 points and 17 boards. Hampton's 3 attempt is blocked out of bounds to Kentucky. It's a 1-point game in favor of the home team.
Great block there by Cameron, but I tell you what happened. He was backing off the position. Sean May was in there where he could see the shooter on the wing. He literally pushed Cameron toward him, and Cameron arrived just in the nick of time to get a handle on the shot.
Nice ball movement there, and another 2-shot opportunity coming up for Kentucky.
Indiana foul on number 8, Matt Kiefer, his 4th.
Matt Kiefer played pretty good first half without foul consideration, but he has now picked up his 4th.
Kiefer's got to take the baseline side away. He didn't quite get dropped down soon enough. He's got to rotate down, take away the baseline. You heard that in Little League. You got to take the baseline away. But give that
in the game for Indiana,
Mr. Hill a lot of credit. He's pretty smooth along the baseline, has a quick step.
Hill has really added a lot to the attack as Kiefer gets a rest.
There's an age-old debate in defense where you turn the dribbler or the ball to the middle or to the baseline. I think the best move probably turns the baseline and beat him there. Shut him off.
And Hill becomes Kentucky's 6th scorer in double figures. They've had great balance tonight, led by Hampton.
There's a great press by Kentucky again and forced Indiana to take a timeout because they could not inbound the ball.
Timeout. Indiana, a 30-second timeout.
A reminder, presentation of the Indiana-Kentucky All-Star Games brought to you by Teachers Credit Union. Need money, make money, manage money. Galleon's proud sponsor of the Indiana High School All-Star Games. By Meyer, experience the convenience of shopping at Meyer. And by Roberts, your favorite camera store for Canon cameras, downtown, Carmel, Bloomington. With head coach Dave Nicholson, I'm Jim Barber. It's a 3-point game and a little under 5 minutes left in the second half.
Be a good time if you want to see this repeat action next week at Conseco Fieldhouse. There's plenty of tickets available in all price ranges. If you want to get a deal, go to the Conseco Fieldhouse box office. Any $5 or $10 ticket, you get 2 for 1. But you must go to the Fieldhouse box office to get that deal.
The home of the Indiana Pacers and Indiana Fever. Trouble out in the front court, but Indiana keeps it alive. The trap bothering the Hoosier team for the moment. That's a step-back 3 by Diedrich Finn, and the game is retied again.
Nice court awareness there by Blake Schoen. Caught the ball on the left side, looked over the top of the trap, saw Finn wide open on the opposite corner.
That is only the second made 3 of the night for the Indiana Stars, and leading in is Brandon Stockton. Not a particularly big point guard, but got the shot off, and in that sequence led to one of the Indiana Stars being knocked down, and that's Finn. Finn was defending him, too.
Actually, Stockton's elbow came down after the shot, and they caught Finn on the head. Nothing intentional. I think it was a good no call.
Bumped up against the knee of big Sean May, and let's hope he's okay.
Again, on the review there, you saw, I thought it was a clean play. It was just one of those incidental contacts on the way down.
Finn, a big part of Indiana's offense tonight. He runs the point for the Indiana Stars. He has 7 points and 5 rebounds. His absence down the stretch could make a big difference in this game.
He's got his rhythm right now. He's the one that just busted that 3 the last time down on the right wing. So they definitely need him in the ball game. They've been kind of searching for someone who would kind of settle down the Indiana team and not turn it over, and he's been the man to do that.
So as this place becomes quiet, and certainly understandably, they attend to the nature of point guard Diedrich Finn. In Syracuse, Indiana on Wednesday night, exhibition games will be played. The Indiana Junior All-Stars, who played both the girls and boys in West Lafayette the other night, will play the stars of these senior teams for the boys and girls. Activity starts at 6 with the girls game followed by the boys. And Friday night, great reunion dinner. You may have heard Pat Aikman talk about that at halftime. Tickets on sale for $28 apiece. And Dietrich Finn will, under his own ability, make it to the locker room, but he is going to go off for a while, and we'll hopefully get an update on him, and we sure hope that he's okay.
You don't want to see any All-Star hurt, any player hurt in any ball game, particularly an All-Star game. I need to take this opportunity to say hi to my neighbors. I promised my neighbors, Bob and Ivy Lou Milliken, their 50th anniversary tomorrow. So I had to get that in. I couldn't go home. They'd burn my house.
And happy Father's Day to all those watching tonight, as tomorrow is the big day for that. That was a tough pass by Stockton. Not a advisable one, and Indiana gets the ball back. Chance to tie the game.
Double turnover. Stockton stepped in, stole it, but then tried a real difficult pass. Gives Indiana the ball back.
Indiana has to work now without their point guard, Dietrich Finn. They find Sean May, and May got it stripped. Sean able to track it down. Under 10 to shoot with. Possession is still very much alive, and now down to 5.
Got to be aware of the shot clock.
Cameron realizes and fires a 3 and hits it.
That's as good a run as you can have.
Sure. He takes over the point guard activities for the Indiana All-Stars, who are back up by 1. The 10th lead change in this game. Cameron has to hang with Stockton, who tries a step back 3. Position to Sean May, his 18th board of the night. Indiana's out-rebounded Kentucky by plenty, 54-30. Chance to build under the lead, under 3 minutes left in the game. May backs his way in. He'll be called for an offensive foul. And the Indiana fans here don't agree with that. Neither does Sean May.
We didn't have the great angle to look at that. He did not appear to be out of control. There's the pass inside to May. Let's take a look. He's going to turn to his right, coming down toward us here. A little bit of contact there.
Experience the triumphs and defeats in athletic competition that have fostered student athletes to become leaders in careers beyond the courts and fields for more than 80 years. The NCAA Hall of Champions celebrates the extraordinary journey of the student athlete. The NCAA Hall of Champions is located in White River State Park, downtown Indianapolis, where you'll also find the Campus Corner gift shop with officially licensed NCAA gifts and apparel. For more information, call 1-800-735-NCAA.
We are the sons and daughters of every hometown, playing this great game from street corners to cornfields.
I am USA Basketball.
And this summer, we will come together in this nation's heartland to take on the world.
We are USA Basketball.
Watch the USA Basketball team compete against the greatest players from around the world at the 2002 World Basketball Championship. For tickets, call 1-800-4NBA-TIX or log on to 2002worldbasketball.com.
What if there was a place packed with treats for humans? Stuff that'd make even the most finicky gourmet drool. Chicken Caesar wraps, fresh-baked cookies, plus great-tasting wild bean coffee. And what if that place also had things to make your life easier, like free e-maps and weather reports? Bet that would lead to some nice, long walks. BP Connect.
Get a free fountain drink with any salad or sandwich purchase at BP Connect.
Jim Barber, Dave Nicholson, let's reset the game for you. We're just under 3 minutes left in regulation. Indiana has the 1-point lead. Problem for Indiana, just one timeout remaining, and that's only a 30-second one.
Well, that's not really a problem until Indiana gets behind, but if they go down, that's a key problem with Kentucky with 3 timeouts left.
And the arrow is in favor of Kentucky.
That's another key factor.
Here's Maurice Hampton for the pull-up jumper, and Kentucky regains the lead. And with that, a personal foul called as well. I like the play of Maurice Hampton. He has shot the ball very well. In fact,
his third.
Not many people have done that tonight, but Hampton is 7 of 12 from the floor and 3 of 6 from the three-point line. And let's correct what we said earlier. The possession arrow actually favors Indiana.
Key factor, of course, the rest of the way is your free throw shooting, your foul situation, and what you just talked about, the possession arrow. Timeouts could come into play. Kentucky's in great shape there. Indiana's got the arrow. Who's going to hit their free throws? We don't know. Kentucky shot them a lot better in the second half than they did the first.
Kentucky's had 32 attempts in this game as Indiana plays with the ball, trailing by 2, and without Dietrich Finn, who was injured earlier in the second half. Cameron with great penetration, playing the point very well, reties the game again.
You got to think Kentucky's going to pay a lot of attention to Sean May inside. That's going to open it up for those perimeter people to penetrate, either pitch it to him or go all the way, as Cameron just did.
Cameron doing a nice job of recognizing that. The ball is out of bounds, and it'll stay in the hands of Kentucky. We have 2 minutes left. Well, this one is setting up like the first one tonight between the girls teams, in which a possession in the final minute of the game could be pretty important. But unlike the girls' game, not as big a swing in leads. A baseball lead there, and before Rodney Carney can do anything with the ball, he is held, and a foul is called. And that's a smart foul by Stockton, because Carney had about a foot on him and the lead.
Was a smart foul, and I really think that the defender held the shirt a little bit, and Coach Burns is pointing it out now. If you hold the shirt, it's got to be intentional.
Sure. And that's exactly what he did.
He had hold of him pretty good.
Indiana has shot the ball very well from the line. 14 of 17. That's well over 80%.
Replacing number 13, Arlandis Hill.
And another one for Carney. May goes for the offensive rebound, kept it alive, but Kentucky comes down with the ball. 1:50 left in the second half. Hampton shooting over May, and the rebound taken down by Carney.
Hampton's played awfully well, but he may be trying to do a little too much in those last 2 possessions, going in and having to shoot over the big guy.
Brandon Cameron on his possession able to draw a personal foul on Kentucky.
The foul is on Brandon Stockton, number 1, his third.
The foul is on Stockton, Mr. Basketball for Kentucky. That's number 3, Steve Bruns.
2 shots.
Takes a look at this situation.
For Indiana, you've got to feel good about Sean May being up there. He's had such a great ball game. You know his confidence level is very high. Good chance for him to get a couple of points for Indiana.
With that free throw shooting, he has 27 points for the game. Also a couple of blocks, 3 steals, and the aforementioned rebounding has been superb. 19 rebounds tonight for Mr. Basketball. Our thanks to Shelby County Bank for their donations tonight. For every attempted free throw by the Indiana All-Stars, a $50 donation to the Indianapolis Stars Lend a Hand Fund. Thank you, folks. 80-78. Under 90 seconds for the game. Johnny Mathis out high for Kentucky. Here's Dante Smith putting a move on May. Just unable to draw the basket, and Indiana comes back with the rebound, and we're getting down to a minute left.
I think Kentucky did what they should there. They attacked the basket, and Dante was right there, just couldn't finish it.
Indiana will use its last timeout, which is a 30.
That is their final timeout.
A reminder, the presentation of the Indiana-Kentucky All-Star Games brought to you by Teachers Credit Union. Need money, make money, manage money. Galleon's proud sponsor of the Indiana High School All-Star Games. Meijer, experience the convenience of shopping at Meijer. And by Roberts, your favorite camera store for Canon cameras, located downtown Carmel and Bloomington. Bloomington should be quite proud of Sean May tonight. 28 points, 19 rebounds, several steals, couple of blocks. Mr. May has been in the spotlight all evening long and has handled it quite well.
And now that timeout situation for Indiana has become a real factor. They have 0 left. They cannot stop the clock except by fouling.
Means that this possession is pretty big. Chance to go up by a couple of scores. Hampton tries to defend against Cameron. And they look for the man of the hour. May on a turnaround pull and scores.
Absolute great choice. Who do you go to? The guy that's had an outstanding basketball game.
The 29th and 30th points of the night for Sean May. Now Kentucky's in a desperate situation, down by 4. Smith got a clear lane in the basket and missed it, but a foul call. Dante Smith found an open lane.
That was a good foul call. Sean May, I'm sure.
Sean May, number 1, is 3rd.
The good news for Kentucky, Smith is an 80% free throw shooter.
Smith at the line, 2 shots.
May picking up his 3rd personal foul. Smith needs them both here, gets the first one.
Important free throw to make it a 2-possession game, Jim, and then Indiana has to push it. It's still a 1-possession game, but they've got to come up and get a shot up, I think, pretty quickly. They can't, because they have no timeouts. They can't let the clock waste away.
Indiana leading by 3. Kentucky's got to make a foul here, and they're wasting some valuable time and not doing it. Kentucky waited a fair amount of time to make a personal foul here because Indiana did not have to shoot the ball. Dietrich Finn still recovering from the blow moments ago. And we sure hope that he'll recover quickly. 5th foul on Dante Smith, who's played a nice game tonight for Kentucky. 13 points, 5 rebounds, has 5 assists to go with it.
Can be proud of his effort. He's done a good night's work.
That free throw's big. That makes it 2 scores for Kentucky to get back in at 83-79. And Cameron has done a nice job running the number 1 position in place of Finn. 2nd free throw rolls nicely in.
Got to push it, get a quick shot, get the clock stopped. Timeout if it goes in.
Here's Mathis crossing over and firing a 3. Rebound to Indiana with 10 seconds left in the game. And the Indiana All-Stars, who failed to win here last year, are in pretty good position to do so tonight.
Second foul on number 3, Maurice Hampton, his 3rd.
Well, Indiana committed 26 turnovers this evening, Dave, but still able to find a way to put itself in pretty good position to win.
Rebounding was such a key thing, and if there's one difference in the ball game, it's a guy with the number 1 on his back, Sean May. What a basketball game he has played. You think it's such an honor to play in the All-Star game. It's such an honor to be Mr. Basketball, and then to have that kind of a ball game to go with it. That's got to be a highlight for him forever.
30 points, 19 boards for Mr. Basketball. 6-point lead, 10 seconds left. Kentucky needs a 3 and in a hurry. Mathis will fire and hit it. And Kentucky uses a timeout immediately with 5 seconds to go.
1-possession game, so anything's possible. Indiana's got to get it on court safely and make sure the only way you give it up is get fouled.
Indiana has done a good job tonight shooting free throws, 75% on 18 of 24. This was as quick a 3 as Kentucky could hope for. And Mathis hit Kentucky's 7th 3 of the night, but still find themselves down by 3. A number of folks here in Owensboro are not expecting a miracle. They're already headed to start their evening somewhere else.
Shows me there's wise folks here.
By the way, our thanks to Tony Cecil, the Sports Center, and the rest of the very hospitable folks here in the Commonwealth for all of their friendliness and attention to detail. Been a nice day.
They've done a wonderful job since this game's been moved here to Owensboro and hosting. They're excited about having it here.
Cameron did a good job of getting loose off the inbounds pass. It cost Kentucky a 2.5 seconds. And a made free throw here will sew it up.
Yep. 1 free throw, game's over. A miss, Kentucky still has one last chance to knock down a 3 and get an OT.
And the beauty of the double bonus is Cameron will get 2 tries to put it away.
He's a 72% shooter this past year, so he's pretty good to odds that he'll make it.
12-point a night for Brandon Cameron. More importantly, 5 for 5 from the free throw line. So the Indiana All-Stars will be in position for a sweep next week at Conseco Fieldhouse. This game is over. Indiana 87 and Kentucky 82. Dave, thank you. Great game tonight.
Jim, my pleasure to work with you. Outstanding job. Hope to see everyone in Indianapolis next week in the repeat.
All right, for Dave Nicholson, I'm Jim Barber. The 2 teams salute each other. And they'll have a week of activity and practice set for the rematch at Conseco Fieldhouse next week. Steve Bruns and Scott Mays. Scott Mays' son, Sean May, with 30 points, 19 boards tonight to lead the Indiana Stars to a win here in Owensboro.